basically here to do a continuation of our our fight judging application. Basically what this app is going to do is, as the UFC event is going on, it's going to allow our users to score the fight in real time. I went ahead and the only thing I've done so far was created a blank server.js file, and then a package file, and then a constants file, because I decided to use Mlab instead of our local host. So yeah, just give me one quick sec, guys, and we'll get started. So the first thing that I'm going to need to do to jump right in is I'm going to need to go to our fight score-server. And what I'm going to want to do is do an npm install express --save. Then we're going to let that go through. Alright, awesome. I'm going to do npm install --save mongoose. And there we go. So the reason why I did --save is because if we go to our package.json file, you'll notice that we do have a list of dependencies. So what I want to do now is I want to go to our server file, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into var express equals require express, and then we're going to need var app equals express. It's going to be its own thing, and we all know the drill. I've done this before. Oh yeah, I'm going to need mongoose equals require mongoose. And now I'm getting some weird feedback. Let me update my preferences real quick and see if this will fix it. ECMAScript, JSX Harmony. That can often help us out. I'm just trying to make errors that aren't errors go away. That's fine. Okay, so now that we have mongoose, I just want to make sure that our app is listening, so we'll do app.listen, and we're going to toss in port 3000, function, and we're not going to need like an index.html file this time around, because all we're simply doing is just spinning up the actual server itself. You guys will see what I mean in a sec. So .listen, console.log. We have a setter. Alright, cool. So now that we have a setter, what I want to do is I just want to type in node server, and we have a server sir. So beautiful. Now that that's running, there's going to be a few dependencies that we're going to need running into this. I just want to do a quick check to make sure that I'm actually online right now. Just a sec. It's loading, it's loading, it's loading. No. Alright, cool. Screw it. We have it. It's live. I'll deal with the repercussions of this later. Alright, awesome. Okay, well, should be live. Let me see. just double, triple checking real quick, guys. I just want to make sure that this is actually going down. This one should be doing live control room. Oh, it might be on the other one. Oh shit. Oh crap. Okay. Yeah, guys, just give me a second and I'll start it. I'm gonna restart this again. Okay, guys, I'm just making sure that the stream is running. Oh dear God, this is. Okay, cool. This is what I needed. Okay. Events. Live now. Okay. Screw it. I'll deal with the repercussions of that later. Okay, so basically, we have an Mlab. We know that our server is running. Now we're going to need to do a mongoose.connect. And what I'm going to need is a var key var mongoose key equals require. And I believe it's going to be /constants.js. And then, screw it. Okay, it's mongoose URL. Alright, cool. Then it's just going to be mongoose key.mongoose URL. Alright, cool. So then we should connect to mongoose. Let's just run our server again. Cool. Alright. So what we're going to need to do is do a post endpoint first that takes the data from what we built yesterday and puts it into a Mongo database, and then we're going to need to be able to pull from that database. So I'm going to kill my Skype and kill my Slack. That way I can save up some CPUs. Okay. So now what I want to do is go. Oh, by the way, guys, this is basically me doing building. I'm gonna just build, and then you guys can follow along, and I'll put the code up later. Okay. So this is gonna be its own thing. This is gonna be its own thing. Once we're ready. Okay, so next thing I'm going to need to do is I'm going to build a directory, and I'm going to call this one server, and in the server, new file, actually no, cancel, I'm going to need to do another new directory. This one is going to be called datasets, and then this one, this directory, is going to be called controllers. Okay, very, very simple. And now what I'm going to want to do tonight is we're going to create a post endpoint. This one is just going to call create event. And then this one we're just going to have to leave blank right now. So now what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to create a controller. And we're we're just going to call this one the event controller. Cancel event controller.js. First one's going to be module.exports. We'll call this one the class one create. It's going to be equal to function. And what we have is we have a request and a response. Okay, so what we need to do now is we actually need to get body parser. That way we can parse the data. We can send it through the body. So what I'm going to do now is, let's see, okay, we're in the right file. I'm going to do npm install body parser -s save, so it's saved as a dependency. That way when we upload this thing to a real server, it'll just fire. Perfect. Now here, what I'm going to need to do is go var body parser. I need to set that equal to require body parser. And then just give me 1 sec, guys. I just need to remember what I did. There's a special way you gotta use it. Yep. App.u, I was right. I just wanted to triple check. So that's what I like to do. Just we're gonna do app.use and we're gonna do body parser.json. Yep. So now it's basically any body that comes through is going to be parsed as JSON. So we'll do the event controller right now, and all I want it to do is console.log. Cool. So now let's open up the project we did yesterday in Tandem. Just going to grab the data that we have. I'm just going to triple check that we are actually live. Cool, we are live, and I'm happy about that. Okay. So sorry, folks, I'm a little tired right now, but I'm going to power through this. Okay, so basically with the Fight Score app, we have the submit event, which right now it doesn't do anything. It just has a request. It has a title, an event date, and event fights, which is pretty rad. So basically what we want to do is I need to send an AJAX call to the server that we've just created using React. You know, we could do a simple XHR for this, but they have a library built by the same guys who did the library one called Axios, I believe it's called. Or Axios, I believe it's called. Yep, and there it is. So basically what we want to do now is, not that, is I want to go into the okay, I'm going to go into the shell, new tab with basic settings, cd ls cd fight score, and the fight score, I want to do npm install -- save Axios. So basically what we're going to do now is we're just simply going to pass in some data to our dummy server and hope that it sticks. So let's look through the Axios docs just so you guys can see. Yep, so basically we can just send the request object as a post and then console.log the request. So what I need to do first is in our front end code is I'm going to import Axios from Axios. And then what I'm going to want to do is for this guy, we can still console.log the request, but what I want to do is go Axios.post according to these guys. And for now, until we drop this thing on a real server, I'm going to do localhost. Wait, isn't it HTTP // localhost -3000 / I believe our endpoint is create event / create event. Okay, so then we're going to pass in our request object that we formulated yesterday. I'm going to do a .then. Now we have response, console.log response, and then we'll do a .catch. And then this one is just going to be error. And then as you guys guessed it, I'm just going to do a console.error. Alright, cool. So we got our .then function, our .catch function. We should be good to go. So now let me see. JSON file usually has. Yep, all I have to do is run npm start. Fight score, npm start. Cool. So now let's just run localhost 8080 once it's there. It's giving us the dependencies. So I can go to localhost 8080 and we have our home page, and then what I want to do from here is do -create. Cool. So now I don't really need to pass in anything, but let's just do it anyways. So let's do UFC 204 10 24 1988, and then what I'll do is I think I need to restart the server too. Yeah, so I'll do node server. Cool. So we have a server. Oh wait. What I need to do first in our fight score server is now I need to inject this as a dependency. So we'll do --controllers, and then we'll do var event controller, and set that equal to require /. you don't need the .js. But some people like to put it. I like to put it, but you don't have to. It's your call, man. You do you, son. All right, cool. So then what I'm going to do is pass an event controller dot create. Okay. So from here, if this was wired in properly, which I hope it was, the node server, cool, nothing crashed. What I want to do is I want to view the data. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a single fight. Blue corner is test. Red corner fighter is tester, and it's going to be a 3-round fight. So I'm going to create that. Now I'm going to submit that event. All right, so now let's see what happens. So if we go here, tools, developer tools. Okay, that's because we need to give CORS permissions to, we're getting a CORS error, and that's because we're sending localhost 3000. We're trying to make a call to localhost 3000, and we haven't handled that yet. I believe I handled this in another tutorial that I built, and I can just copy pasta the code. I can do that because I wrote it, motherfuckers. All right, cool. I believe it was, let me see. Yeah, multiplayer word game. That's the one. And when I go to server.js, no, it wasn't there. Let's see. Oh yeah, it was a different project that I worked on. Okay. Well, anyways, folks, I just need to add some headers, so we'll just go to Stack Overflow. Overflow. And then yep, so this is basically what you gotta do. So I'll walk you through this, guys, because it's the pre-flight headers. So basically, I'll keep this on the side for reference for myself because I haven't had to deal with this shite in a while. Okay, so basically what's happening is the server is on localhost 3000 and the other code is on localhost 8081 or 8080, right? So it's two different origins. So basically you need to write in your application that, hey, that's cool. So that's just what we're going to do right now. So I'm going to do, before anything else, app.use function. It's going to have a rec, a res, and then the callback. And from here, what I want to do is I want to do res.set header. And what we're going to do is access control allow origin. And from there, I'm going to add a star saying that everything is okay because we're going to have a few sites on there, but you would never release it to production like this. And then basically, let's just copy pasta this shit. I don't have time for this fucking nonsense. So Stack Overflow is good. I'm giving these guys props, but yeah. I know how to do all this, guys. I just, for the time being, I just think it'll be better to just move on to good stuff. But what this is going to allow is it's going to allow for data to be passed to our server. And that's really what we want. All right. Cool. server. And let's try to submit this again. So I'm going to hit submit. Wait, create. Let's see. We have a server. Okay, pre-flight error. The access control origin has an error that is not equal to the one supplied, therefore is not allowed. Oh, because I need to do this because I copy and pasted like an asshole. But that's because I focus my time on building cool apps and not origin headers. Fuck me. I didn't want to delete that part. So if I do this, all right, fuck it. What we're gonna do is I'm just gonna hit submit to make sure that we're getting something to a server. There we go. So I sent everything instead of the title and the date, but we have data going to the server, right? So that is a win as far as I'm concerned, people. So let's give ourselves a pat on the back. Okay, so what I want to do now is we need to create a data set for an event. File, I'm going to do event.js. First thing we're going to need to do is do var mongoose equals require mongoose. And then what I'm going to want to do is I need to create a a data set. So I'm going to do mongoose.schema, I believe it is. Yes, I believe that is what it's called. We're creating a schema. And that schema name, I think you give it a name first, is the first property. So I'm going to call this a event. And let me just go back to previous work just to double, triple check this, guys. I'm all about fact checking. And if it seems like I'm a little out of it, it's because I am, but I promised you guys that I would be doing this daily, and that's what I'm going to do. It's actually mongoose.model. So that's the model for our data. And then let's look into what we're passing our server. Okay, so every event has an event title, which is going to be a string. It is going to have an event date, which is going to be type date. And then it is going to have event fights, which are basically just going to be objects that contain blue corner fighter, which is a string. Fuck me. It's going to have a red corner fighter, which is also a string, and then number of rounds, which is a number. Cool. So hopefully you guys got this part. So basically what we're doing now is we're just creating a mongoose model for our guy. Okay. So now that we have this, do rect.body. Now I need to require that data set. So what I need to do is do var mongoose or var event equals require. Then it's dot slash datasets dot event or / event.js. And then from here, let me see. What we're gonna do is, let's see if I can riff this. Since we're creating, what I want to do is I want to create var new user, new event equals new events, and I believe we can toss in rect.body. And we can do new events.save. I believe you can toss in a callback. We'll just get to this point where we'll just do if error console.log error, and then we'll return. But if it goes through, then we'll just do console.log result to see if that went through. All right, so let's see if we could save a fight. I just want to double, triple check that I'm not leading you guys astray. Just give me a second. So I've got my controllers. This is a cool thing about writing code, guys, is that you can always go back to what you had. Yeah. There's the profile controller, which is where you could. Application controller, yeah. Yep, I'm doing it right. Because I'm tired and I just wanted to make sure that I was doing this correct. So we could just save it, but I believe .save lets you throw in a callback, so let's throw in a callback. So I'm going to go to our server, cancel, run node server again. Okay, we have a server. I'm going to refresh this, and let's give it some info. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say UFC 9. How to fight tests versus testers. 3-round. Create. Now I'm going to hit submit event. And cool, we have a title. Oh wait, we didn't save it, but it should have worked anyway. So that's going to be form validation. But the key thing here, guys, is that we have events. Yeah, so that's cool. So we can throw in events, which is awesome. I'm going to delete this one because we kind of screwed the pooch. And I'm starting to think that this part is going to annoy the crap out of people. But let's submit that again. Oh, cool. So it automatically gives us a date. Even though the date's a little bit off, we'll fix that later. But that's pretty rad, man. Okay. So as you guys can see here, we now have a way of creating events. Yeah, so we now have a way of creating events, and let's now give our users the capability of getting events. So all this works. Now we just need to do a res.status code 200 res.send. And then this one would be a res.status code 500, just saying, hey, something's up with the server, res.send. Cool, so now that that is all wired up, I want to do one for get. And for right now, we'll keep it simple, but we're going to need to make this a little bit more in-depth. I'm going to keep tonight's episode a little short. What I'm going to want to do is do module.exports get events equal to a function with a rec res. Oh wait. Cool. And what we're going to need to do here is we're going to need to do events.find. I believe that's how you get it. Sorry guys, I just need to spot check myself every now and again. So I'm going to go back to my controllers. Let's go to the waste controller. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So what I can do from here, which is cool, is I can do event.find.sort, and what I'll do is I'll just toss in event date, throw in -1. Maybe that's what I did there. That way it'll send us the most recent ones, and then I'll do .execute, and that's just business as normal. And then I'll do error, comma, events, and then from there, what I want to do is I want to return all the events. So we have error. I am going to do res.status code 500, and then basically tell the client, you fucked up, kid. And then obviously I want to return, so I don't have to deal with that crap. Then if that doesn't work, what I want to do is I'm going to do a res.send JSON. Let's see. Oh wait, no, just res.json itself. I'm going to send back some events. Alright, cool. So this should work. So I believe what I can do with this is I can just do localhost 3000 / let's see, server. I need to create a get endpoint. So we'll do app.get. We'll do /get events. And then we're going to toss in event controller.get events. And this should work. Let me see. /get events. So I just need to reset the server real quick. Alright, let's refresh. refresh this. Cool. So we've got 3 events in right now. Cool. I like that. We're gonna have to do some validation and some stuff down the road because I'm making a production-ready app. But for the time being, this will get us through this lesson. So we can post events to a server. We can now get events from a server. Now let's build so you guys feel like you got some bang for your buck since we're done with this part of the server. Let's do some more React code. And I want to build a new component, new file. And I'm going to call this one events.js. And as you guys thought, we're just going to basically post up some quick events. And then tomorrow we'll basically go into the update view where we can update the events. And then once we're good on the admin front, we'll start on the actual client side. All right, so with the events one, what I'm going to need to do is first I need to import React and then a component from React. And then with this one, I'm going to need to do export default class, and we're going to call this one events page from extends component. Cool. And then just to show you guys that this is actually running, we're going to do a render, and all render functions need to do a return. And with this, I'm going to do div so that it's all kosher, and I'm going to put these will be the events. Now from here, let me just take a brief intermission to see if anyone is watching or in the chat room. I hope not, because this is my finest hour. Okay, cool. Well, at least I know my ads are going through. Yay, go Rick. Go Robo Rick. Okay, cool. So now that we have that, what I want to do is go to our index.js file. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do import events from /components /events.js. Then from here, I'm going to need to go to routes path equals /events. And then from here, I'm going to do components equal to events. And then if this was all working, which I think it will be, I should just be able to go to events. And boom, now we have events set up. So that's pretty legit. Now what I want to do is make an AJAX call to our backend to utilize the data that we have just gathered. And what I'm going to do is I'm likely going to put this in memcache. That way when we get a shit ton of users firing into our server, we're not going to be eaten alive by the cost. So in this event, I'm going to want to import Axios from Axios. I believe that's how I used it before, but I have been wrong. Create event, Axios from Axios, yes. And then this one doesn't take any parameters, so what I'm going to want to do here is I'm going to have a constructor function that takes in props as a render. I'm gonna do a super props. Don't ask me what it does. We just do it. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this on component will mount. So before the component mounts, we'll already have data for our users, which is pretty cool. I'm going to go to Axios.get, and I'm just going to toss in this guy right here. Now let's do the state, where I thought this state equals an object. And in that object, we're going to have events. We're just going to have it as a blank array initially. I'm going to do .then. We'll do response. And I just want to take a look at how it's going to send the response back. Function, I just want console.log response, and then if the internet breaks on us, we .catch error, and we'll just have that for right now. So what I want to do now is I just want to reset the page and see, okay, so it's going to pass us back data with 3 objects. A title, the amount of fights, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to we're going to set the state, so I need to do let self equals this. And then I'm going to do in here equal this dot state dot events dot map. Then with this, we're going to toss in our anonymous function, events. And then for each one, we're just going to return a div with an h2 tag that has events.event title. And then we'll do event.event dates, and then we'll do an h3 tag for right now. Even I'm going to restyle the hell out of this, guys, once we get to that stage, but for now, just an h3 tag. I chose number of fight schedule. And then from here, what I can do is events fights length, and then from here I can just do check out these upcoming events, and then I'm going to put it against. Cool. Oh wait, whoops. You need to put these probably right there for right now. And as you guys can see, we got an event and an event.date. Oh wait. Need to do this. needs to have a key, and I'm going to set that equal to event._id because Mongo already assigns a unique property for all of us. And there you guys have it. We have, obviously I can use Moment to clean this up a little bit, but we have 3 events created, and we're able to get those events and schedule them. Tomorrow we're going to work on updating existing events. And then we'll clean up the admin portion of this application, deal with a couple of use cases, and then from there we'll rock and roll and we'll get it done. So let me just tune in real quick. I know it's late, so we're probably not going to have too many viewers right now, but let me just take a gander. Make sure that no one's asking any questions right now. Because I was live. All right, I know it's gathering the chat right now. Ah, thank you for a co-long video. Thank you for watching. More tomorrow. All right, guys, so yeah, I'm going to be throwing up more videos tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. These usually get like 30,000 views, I know it's a little late, but cool. So I know it doesn't look like much, but we have our posts and our get endpoint for events, and then we have a new state that displays them. What I'm going to work on tomorrow is updating the existing event, and then we're going to use Sass to style it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I look forward to chilling with you guys tomorrow. All right, take it easy. Bye.